Namaste, everyone. Very good morning. Let us start with the prayer. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. It is nice that we could meet today morning for this particular session. I was actually not sure at all because I'm in a very remote place in the Himalayas, almost 15, 18 kilometers above Nainital. And we were expecting some snowfall and all that, but it didn't happen. It's still quite sunny, I would say. The sun has come up now. So I think we will be able to do this session. But here, so from time to time, you may hear their shouts. So don't mind, we have two bhutia dogs, mountain dogs here. Because in this ashram is a retreat center, uh, very remote in the Himalayas. But here in January especially, we don't have retreats, but because it is very cold, today morning the temperature was -3. But other than that, other activities are going on. Like there is a small computer section. There's a they learn English here. They learn knitting and all that. So all that is going on. So today, let me come to the topic. The topic of discussion today is mind management for life management. So whoever has chosen this topic, very relevant, very beautiful for today's age, I thank him. And I will be giving you some very, very important tips on mind management. So please listen carefully because this is the topic which everybody is asking for. And we must go deep into this subject because we know very well our success in life depends on our minds. If your mind is not in a particular state, even if you have all the good things around you, you will not enjoy it. And suppose your mind is in a very bad situation or state, then you will not enjoy life at all. Whether there is good in your life, whether something challenging comes into your life, it will all the more exhaust you, it will defeat you. You won't be able to do anything in life. So, mind management is the key to success and a great life. We all know this. Now, I want to give you certain very important ideas on mind management. That's why, and how to handle your thought currents. Because you must remember this, you are perfectly capable of handling your mind, your thought. And don't ever give the reins in somebody's hands that this particular situation, due to this, I am thinking in this way, it is due to this person that I'm thinking in this way. All the time, please remember your thoughts are yours. They emerge from you. You are the one who's enlivening your thought process from within. So you can dim the thought process, you can enliven it, you can brighten it, you can change it, you can modify it, you can make it motivate you, or you can make it deflate you also. You are capable of all of this. So how you handle your thought becomes paramount, very, very important. And for that, I am going to give you certain secrets of the human mind. That's why I want you to listen carefully to this particular session. I have been working long along these lines, and there are certain things which I thought I should share with you. See, first of all, I always told you, those videos are there even on YouTube, that what you repeatedly think, you are going to manifest. You are going to become that. Now, what you repeatedly think, you will manifest or you will become that. What does this mean? This means that your thought process has the power to manifest whatever you want in your life. But for that, there is a certain condition to be satisfied in order for this to happen. Because, people are always thinking, why is it that what they are thinking is not happening in their lives? Why is it? So many people right now here, there's a village called the Pangot village. Every day those children come, those teenagers come and they tell us about their dreams. But why is it not happening for them? When does something work for you? When will your thoughts work for you? Only when they are empowered from within by awareness. That is when this equation, what I repeatedly think, I will manifest. What I repeatedly feel, I will experience. What I repeatedly feel, imagine, I will create. This will work for you when your thought is absolutely empowered by the awareness that you are. That is when thought gets charged. It becomes powerful. It becomes an agent for change. It is actually the magic wand in your hand. But if the thinking itself is powerless, there is a lot of, if you observe the nature of your mind, you'll see there are a lot of thought currents which are going contradictory or even antagonistic to your mainstream of thought. And there are many tracks going on, many tracks of thought going on at any given moment of time. So, and as I told you, some of the thought currents are actually not believing in the mainstream thought current. Some of them are pulling it down. Somewhere there is dejection, somewhere there is stress, somewhere there is negativity in some form, anger or hatred or something like that. So all this will reduce the energy or the empowerment which you can give to your thought process. Remember, a totally empowered thought process will hit its mark, will get you whatever you want in life. But if it is flimsy thought, not a powerful thought, then it will not work. That is when this law of attraction fails. So many people, this huge debate is going on, is the law of attraction true, or it's been debunked also by some people? No, it's not true. It's just imagination. It is absolutely true if your thoughts are powered from within by your awareness. When awareness comes to the forefront, your thought will generate life situations for you. Your thought will generate any experience you want for you. That is when your mind starts working for you. So you must know this great secret. This secret has been preserved by yogis down the centuries. Only today we are talking of it openly like this. But when Vivekananda tells us that you are verily what you think, and through your thought mechanism, you can achieve anything and everything, there must be some truth in what Vivekananda is saying, isn't it? So that this entire mechanism or how this works, this is what we are going to discuss for the next 45 minutes, after which we will have your Q&A. But I want you to dwell deeply on the truth of this and see for yourself, try it out for yourself. And for that, I will give you a particular incident in the life of one of the great, disciples of Sri Ramakrishna, whose name was Swami Brahmananda. He was the first president of the Ramakrishna order. He gave a very, very important teaching to all of us as to how to manifest whatever you want in your life. He gave us this teaching through this particular anecdote. So please observe it carefully and see what you can draw from it. See, once he was sitting in Belur Math, and it was very, very sunny. It was the month of May, which is very hot in Kolkata. So he was sitting in the main monastery there and sweating, and there was a sevak sitting close to him because he was an elderly monk, and he was fanning him. Those days, hand fans. And then seeing the utter humidity and the heat of that atmosphere, only those of you who have been there at that time, you know how hot it can be and how humid, most of all. 100% humidity and 41, 42-degree temperature. So extremely hot. And then at that moment, Swami Brahmananda suddenly said, look, let us meditate on the Himalayas. Just now I'm in the Himalayas. Really, these mountains, if you just see them from a distance, it will liberate your mind, that power these mountains have. So Swami Brahmananda said at that moment, let us meditate on the Himalayas and it will cool our entire system. It will cool down the body, it will cool down the mind. Shop thanda hoye jabe. Everything will calm and cool. Just meditate on the Himalayas. Then he gave out this very important teaching. He said, if the mind, our minds are full of all kinds of thought currents, moving this way and that way, constantly swaying our emotions, our will. So thoughts are going on constantly and continuously. But if you can generate a single thought current, and how do you generate a single thought current? First thing he said, if you are able to unclutter your mind and then generate one single thought stream, you will see that thought you will realize it. It will become real because that thought has become powerful through your awareness. Because when you unclutter the mind, you stall the thought, different currents of thought, you bring awareness to the forefront. He gave this beautiful example of just like how there is space in a glass, but you see only water in the glass. If you pour out the water, you will find space. So also there is awareness, which is the deepest, aspect of your being. It is the real you. Your thoughts are not you, they are yours. They are not you. But awareness is verily you. You are pure awareness. If you bring that awareness to the forefront of your mind by subduing all the different thought currents in your mind, then you have become more aware than identified with the thought process. After attaining this state, if you generate any thought, any purposeful, willful, conscious thought, now it becomes empowered by that awareness. That thought will become like a weapon. Using that thought, you can achieve whatever you want. Whatever that thought is about, you will realize it. Suppose that thought is about, now I'm going to excel in this exam. You will excel in that exam because your entire mind has agreed upon that. And your awareness, which is the source of your vital energy, that has come to the forefront. It will so empower your mind, your thought process, that you will realize it. You will attain to whatever you think. See, this is the great secret of your mind, which I want you to know. Mind management is really life management. If you understand this great secret of your mind, if you derive this wisdom from within yourself, you can use your thought mechanism towards your goals in life. Otherwise, your thought mechanism will mess up your life. Your negativities will mess up with your life. So understand this great secret teaching which this Mahapurush, this great saint, Swami Brahmananda, was a spiritual stalwart. He is giving us this information, this secret knowledge. What is he telling us? Thought must be empowered by awareness. So the first step towards that is first declutter your mind, which means practice some technique of yoga, some form of meditation, some form of stalling the thought process, so that this 10 tracks running at once will stop. And then you will see any meditation will put you in the state of becoming more aware than identified with some thought. So you have subdued thought, you have brought awareness to the forefront. Now in this perfectly conscious state, when consciousness comes to the forefront, you have become tremendously conscious from within. In this state, whatever you think consciously, perfectly consciously, deliberately, willfully, you will achieve that. The mind gets the capacity to totally concentrate when it becomes fully aware. Until then, you are just wasting your vital energy, I'm telling you. Vital energy means thoughts and emotions. Vital energy expresses itself as thoughts and emotions. You are wasting that in 100 things which are not purposeful, which are not goal-oriented. And that is why you feel, a sense of exhaustion when you think too much. When you concentrate too much, you feel exhausted. Actually, you will never feel that if you adopt this process. The more you think, the more you concentrate, the more refreshed you become. If your awareness has come to the forefront, ये टेक्निक आप प्रैक्टिस करके देखो, And you will see for yourself, it is a magical technique. It is a technique which all yogis understand. And that is the secret of achievement in life. With, with not even with too much effort. If you are able to concentrate like this and keep one steady stream of thought in your mind, and you will not even require distractions, you will not require anything to entertain your mind. Entertainment only comes when the need for entertainment only comes when you have lost your power of concentration. Then you require 10 things to keep you pepped up. So don't reduce yourself to these silly states. Build up your energy, build up your concentration and the powers of your mind if you want to truly succeed in your life. How do you build it up? Once more, I will repeat it. What Maharaj says, please listen carefully. First thing is learn to unclutter or declutter your mind. Through some practice of meditation, we have introduced guided meditations on YouTube. Practice it, just 5 minutes it takes. Practice it, you will see you are able to bring your mind into a relatively empty state for short periods of time. Once you are able to declutter this mind, the tension within you will go. And you have become more aware suddenly. You have become deeply conscious. In this state, introduce into your mind whatever you want to achieve, wherever you want to excel. And I will tell you, your entire mind will support it. Only one stream of thought running in the mind and complete goal orientation. You will hit your mark. And then Swami Brahmananda says, in addition to giving us this secret, further he says, do you remember Sri Ramakrishna's story of the magical tub? See, Sri Ramakrishna, he always lived in God consciousness. Only occasionally he used to come to normal consciousness just to do certain things in this world, to sustain his body. But he always lived in the highest state of consciousness. He has given us all the secrets of the inner life through simple parables. So here now Swami Brahmananda quotes one of those parables. He says, Sri Ramakrishna gave us a parable of the magical tub. Please observe this carefully. This is also very, very relevant to your mind management. What is the parable of this magical tub? I will give you the parable here and then explain it out. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, in ancient India, people who used to dye clothes would sit in the marketplace, in the villages. So they were the dyers and they had tubs of different colors. So everybody brought their cloth, the white cloth and, simple cotton cloth. And then whichever color he wanted, the dyer would dip it into that particular tub and draw out and give it. So if somebody wanted yellow, he would dip into the tub which had yellow color. If somebody wanted blue, he would dip in the tub which had blue color, indigo. Now, once there came to a marketplace, a man, a dyer, who had only one tub, not many colors, just one tub. But it was a magical tub. So whoever brought cloth to him, that white cotton cloth, he would dip it into the same tub and draw out whichever color he wanted. See, it's a magical tub. So whatever he wants, suppose he wants green, he dips it into the same tub and draws out green cloth and gives it to him. Somebody wants blue, he dips it into the same tub and draws out blue. Somebody wants red, he dips it into the same tub and draws out red. Then Sri Ramakrishna says, there came a man to him, to this dyer, and said, okay, I want the color of my cloth to be the color of the dye in your tub. Because nobody knows what is the dye in his tub. He is bringing out all colors through that one tub of water, of dye. Then Sri Ramakrishna explains this parable. He says, God gives everyone what they want. Everyone, ye yathamam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyam. He reveals himself to his devotee as per his mental makeup, as per his wishes. But for one who comes and asks, what is I want the color of the dye which is in your tub. He is asking for the color of God as he is, the nature of God. Nirgun Brahman he is asking for. So in this parable, Sri Ramakrishna explains the Sagun and Nirgun aspects of Brahman, of God. Now the same parable Swami Brahmananda says, the same thing applies to the innermost core of your mind. He uses this parable subjectively and he says, you know, my son, the mind, once it is empty of unnecessary thought, it will generate the color you want. It will tinge your cloth with the color you want. All you have to do is, it is itself the magical tub. See, that mind which has touched pure consciousness, which has touched God within you, because God shines in your heart as pure consciousness, that mind will become intensely aware without any silly thought processes. And then it will give you the color you want, which means whatever thought then you dip into that kind of mind, it will render it its own color. Anything you place into a mind which is fully aware, that thought will work magically for you. Whatever you want, you can achieve by that thought. That is why we say, what you repeatedly think you will become, you will achieve it. What you repeatedly feel, you will realize it, you will experience it. And what you repeatedly imagine, you will create it. Don't doubt this. Only thing is, the right frame of mind is required in order to make this possible. If you have a silly, stupidly conditioned mind which you have never trained, this law will not work. That is when the law of attraction does not work. So you are super intelligent kids. You must grasp this immediately, what he is trying to say. The nature of God and the nature of your consciousness are not different. It is his reflection alone that is your consciousness. So you see what the parable which Sri Ramakrishna is giving has immense and intense implications. Try to understand to our own lives. You are verily having that magic tub. Understand its value. Whatever you want, whichever color you want, you can draw from it. And even if you want to know just the color of the tub, which is, if you want the color which is in the tub, which means if you want to know the self, the truth about your own being, not your thoughts, but the truth about your being, then you will know that also. Everything you are capable of knowing, if you have this magical tub, if you have access to it. So train your mind, by the power of yoga. That is why we say you can achieve everything in life. But if this power is lacking, you will achieve things by chance and by accident. If you want to take your life into your hands, learn to understand that the magical tub is right within you. Your own mind, in its very clear, pure state, is that magical tub. It can create for you, give you anything you want in life. You don't know the amount of happiness a pure, clean mind gives you. A clear mind, a totally committed mind, a totally, focused mind can give you immense amount of happiness. But this we don't realize. That is why a little amount of discipline, a little amount of yoga in your life, in some way, if you can bring your mind into this state of function, then you can realize anything you want in life. It is not difficult, nor is it something esoteric or, occult, not at all. This is the science of consciousness. You boys and girls are so blessed to be born in a culture which has the deepest psychology, which has the deepest level of consciousness studies. Vedanta is nothing but the science of consciousness. And yoga is nothing but the technology of consciousness. How to use your consciousness to get what you want in life. And the science of consciousness tells you everything you require to know about this particular instrument of perception, about your body mind. So take charge. Vedanta actually gives you self-knowledge, and yoga actually gives you techniques to attain that self-knowledge. So take charge. If you are truly intelligent, sa chaturi, chaturi, Sri Ramakrishna used to say, which means that intelligence alone is intelligence which sparkles with self-knowledge, which is able to give you insight from within. Not that you take the majority opinion, not that you require props to function mentally and intellectually. You are standing on your own feet. You are empowered from within by your own awareness, and your mind is steady and sharp. You can achieve anything in life. So Swami Brahmananda gives this such a beautiful anecdote, an example. And then he says, so you see, like this, meditate on the Himalaya with an empty mind, in full awareness. Place the mountains in your consciousness, and you will actually feel the coolness, the crispiness of the air, the coolness of the Himalaya. It will actually make your entire system shant, peaceful and happy. You will actually experience it. Why? You have generated that state of consciousness. And if you are not able to generate that, then yes, 100 things also will not be able to calm and cool you down. The mind in its own place can create a heaven out of hell and a hell out of heaven. That is the nature of the mind. Learn to train it a little, you will get whatever you want. If you leave it to its way, just like how children, it's like that. Leave it to themselves and they can pick up anything. The mind also is like that. It will pick up anything and it will lose its powers gradually. But one who is focused and able to absorb this knowledge will remain focused all through life. The amount of concentration and focus you generate in such a mind, it will give you the greatest joy. It will refresh your system. It doesn't, tire your system. So how does this happen? This is the secret which I have given you. The more you will dwell on this, the more you will understand the power of your own mind. And the lack of this knowledge is the cause for all your mental problems. Let me also point out this to you. See, I teach regularly in IIT Delhi. Regularly, I require to address the problems of young people, and they are all due to the lack of this knowledge. Somewhere the mind is wrongly conditioned. I'll tell you what your problems with your mind are: overthinking, wrong thinking, and you're incapable of stopping your thought process. So there is a kind of mental diarrhea going on all the time. And negatively conditioned mind, which means strong complexes inside. Because of all the overexposures you have, all kinds of things, you have treated your mind like a dustbin, putting anything inside. Anything that should be thrown out has been put inside. So it has been conditioned to work in a particular way. That's why yoga will help you decondition. Bring your mind to its native state of rarefied awareness, calmness, peacefulness, yet alertness. Don't think removal of thought will put you to sleep. Removal of thought in a perfectly conscious state will put you into the state of yoga. So this is something you have to practice. Only if you practice, you will know it. You will know its efficacy. You already know it subconsciously, because otherwise you wouldn't be in IIT. You know it in a way that focus, I know how to generate focus. So consciously practice this. You will bring your mind into your hands, I'm telling you, and you will be able to experience anything you want in life through that kind of mind. This is the great secret of success. And the other kinds of problems of your mind, many youngsters are suffering from what are called emotional insecurities and challenges towards willpower generation. Both of these also have to do with mind management. Emotional insecurities are because you are seeking the fulfillment of your emotion in something very small. Naturally, it will not fulfill you. Then that is giving rise to all kinds of other emotions. So keep your emotional energy at a particular level, direct it towards that which will fulfill you. You know, character development is at the, you can say, it is alone responsible for emotional fulfillment. When your character functions at a particular level, when your very nature exudes goodness, then your emotions will find fulfillment. Until then, you are only seeking, begging this one and that one to somehow come and fulfill you in life. So don't reduce yourself into these states. Take charge of your mind, your thought, your emotion by bringing your awareness to the forefront, primarily, most importantly. And even the failure of willpower also is due to this. Your will got hijacked by your emotion. You didn't realize it at all. So that is why at this age, especially, I'm telling you, all this must be kept in your hands. Keep your life in your hands. Achieve your goals first. After that, you know, if you achieve your goals in this way, you will get the power to dive into your own great spiritual heritage and understand its immense, incalculable value to elevating human life, to fulfilling human life. Because human evolution, it culminates only with the manifestation of the highest consciousness. It is actually a manifestation of consciousness. That is why this is how Vivekananda defined education and religion also, you know. The manifestation of the divinity already in man. It is such an important definition. So you will understand what is it that truly fulfills human life. And you will not waste energy on unnecessary things. This I want you to understand right in this student life. My entire mind is responsible for my life because experience is generated in my mind. And so this mind must be in my hands. How do I do it? There are methods and techniques. You people should never ever say, हमें ये exposure मिला ही नहीं, हम जानते नहीं हैं. All this you should never say. After having been born in this culture and having access to your great spiritual heritage, you should never say this. You did not utilize it. That's all. तो इसीलिए इन चीजों को आप make it your own. Today you are very lucky to actually have a Vivekananda study circle because all these great ideas and pointers towards a great life are available to you. Now, how much you will utilize, it will depend on you. Please also remember one thing, and I will conclude this talk after pointing this out. All negativities in your life come mainly because of your strong reactions to situations outside. Things may be very bad on the outside, but you know, if I am very calm from within, I will not suffer so much. I will, in fact, try to find a positive solution to the negativity. But if I am constantly reacting and personalizing things and constant negative reactions from my side, I will only magnify the problem. I will not find a solution. You have to decide you want to be part of the problem or part of the solution. If you want to be part of the solution, your mind should be in your hands. So this is very, very important. In Patanjali Yoga Sutras, the entire focus has been put on how to find this Purusha, the self, standing upon which, on this knowledge, you will handle Prakriti, you will handle the external, standing on self-knowledge. But if there is no self-knowledge, you will be carried away by the external. You have no stand of your own. So, इसीलिए, how should your reactions be in any situation? Patanjali very clearly points out to that. I told you that magical tub is right within you. Whatever you dip into it, it will give you that. It will give you anything you want in life. So don't go and seek things outside. I'm telling you, build yourself first, build your mind, build your thought, build your emotion, build your will, and build your character above everything. You will see anything you want will manifest in your life. This is a perfect possibility. So now we will go into the Q&A. There are all so many questions coming in. This is very important. My question is, how the mind be made thought-free? So see, this is very, very important to know. I told you the first step is declutter your mind. The second step is bring awareness to the forefront. Third step is then you place a conscious thought regarding your goal, whatever you want to achieve. It will get empowered by that awareness and you will realize your goal. So first step is declutter the mind. How do you declutter the mind? एक सुंदर एग्जाम्पल मैं आपको देती हूँ. देखिए, suppose you have an ink bottle. Now you want to clean up that bottle. It is holding dark ink for long. You want to clean up this bottle. What do? Let me take the questions one by one. Okay. Now let me focus on this question. Second question has come. I'll take it up a little later. See, how do you empty an ink bottle? You will first pour out that ink and then go on pouring in good water, which means whatever negativity is there in the mind, strong complexes, anger, hatred, resentments, passions, all this raging, you must learn to see them from a distance, keep them at a distance. ये थोड़ा जो discipline है, सभी को practice करना ही है. Not that you get overpowered by that. First, you must pour out the dark ink. Then go on pouring in fresh water, which means go on pouring in good stuff. It will generate good sanskars. Pour something of Vivekananda literature, pour something from the Bhagavad Gita, good thoughts, good emotions. So bottle gets cleaned up. First, only little dark ink will come out, then light ink will come out, then finally fresh water will come out as you pour out, isn't it? Your mind also is like that. First, you must put a stop to the negativity you are suffering from. How? By controlling your exposures practically. Make sure only good stuff gets in. Make good idealistic friends. Read elevating literature. Practice some yoga every day. Form good habits. Even your eating habits, regulate them, correct them. Form a kind of sattvic routine in your life so that the mind becomes manageable. So these are all ways to declutter your mind of negativity. Then how you bring your awareness to the forefront. This can be done through the practice of meditation. As you meditate on something elevating, you will see you have become more aware. In that state of mind, when the mind is relatively stable now, calm, quiet, and aware, there you place your goals and you will hit your mark. So you see, it can be done. Don't ever say, ye namumkin hai. Aisa nahi hai. It can be done. Let's take up the next question. I did guided meditation, but it helped for an hour only. Oh, the next question is how to absorb mind in God. This is the question actually. See, no matter what you are searching in life, deep within, I know all of us are yearning for the experience of the highest. So that is why you see it's coming from an IIT student, how to absorb the mind in God. Everyone is yearning for this. You can absorb your mind in God if it goes to that rarefied state, which we are calling the consciousness of God. Your own awareness can be purified into and brought into that exalted state, which is the consciousness of God. तो एक ही vibration हो जाएगा फिर, है ना? There will be a natural resonance and you will get absorbed in God. So if you want to remain absorbed in a high ideal, you must manufacture the character required for that and the level of thought, emotion required for that absorption. And you will see your actually what happens is your awareness unites with the awareness of the object of meditation. Through all these means, by fixing thought, by fixing emotion, through all these means, that happens. That is the way to get absorbed in God. आप देखिए जिन्होंने भी ये किया है, those who have succeeded in doing this, they did it after long practice, isn't it? If the mind is utterly pure, quickly you will intuit this, you will know this. Otherwise, it requires a lot of practice. So let practice be part of your life. Please try this. How does faith? See, there are too many questions. You have to keep it for some time for me to read it. See, too many questions. Just
I think it will be better. I will choose them and
yes, you please read it out. Yeah.
There is one question like when before coming to college, generally our life is very disciplined, but after coming here in peer pressure or something, we lose our track. So what are the practices we can do to avoid the effect of peer pressure?
Avoid the effect of
peer pressure.
Pressure.
Yeah, peer pressure.
Yes, see, that is the most important thing. In IIT, you will face peer pressure because, some of the most intelligent minds have collected together in a small space. So in order to be able to face any kind of a challenging situation, it is important to stand on your own feet, which means keep your mind in your hands, keep your values in your hands, keep your focus in your hands. So practical method for this is, if you are practicing some form of yoga and meditation every day, you will become fairly independent of the opinions of others. You will have a say of your own. माइंड, क्योंकि माइंड इतना स्टेबल बन गया है, वो खुद की जो थॉट्स हैं, it can hold on to that. If the mind is very unstable, it cannot hold on to anything. So the way to tackle peer pressure is, you must be able to hold your values on your own. And if there is pressure from the peers, from the external, you should be able to manage it through emotional maturity. Emotional maturity का मतलब है, you are able to calmly handle and understand the emotions of others. Not going their way, but you are able to handle it. तो आपका अगर वैसा stand हो ना, if you are standing on your own feet, I'm telling you, you will be able to handle peer pressure. When does it become a real problem is when you have no say of your own. खुद का ही value system नहीं है, and no inner strength to hold on to anything, then you will just go by the current. तो इसीलिए मैं आपको कह रही हूँ, strength means independence. Strength means unfoldment of your inner capacity. Strength is not external. Somebody has to empower you. ऐसा नहीं है. Empowerment is always internal. You have to empower yourself from within and make the mind so stable and steady that you become a natural leader. You have the last say, and nobody can impose his value upon you. That is the way to handle peer pressure. That is the way to handle stress. Otherwise, जो सभी कहते हैं हाँ हाँ उसमें हाँ हाँ कर दिया बस हो गया. What is mind? How do we define it? What is the difference between mind and soul and body and brain? So very good questions you have. What is mind? See, in Sanskrit, in yoga, psychology, mind is defined as antakarana vritti. Antakaran it is called. It is the inner instrument. This is the outer instrument. The mind is the inner instrument. Mind is the software, brain is the hardware, as it were. Now, because it is the inner instrument, it all changes start from there. It begins from there. So if you can handle your vrittis, the modifications of your mind properly, what we call thoughts, if you can handle them properly, you can handle your mind properly. Mind is nothing but a bundle of thoughts. If there are no thoughts, there is no mind. So this state of empty mind or no mind state is very important, because I told you, you are not your thoughts. You are the consciousness that shines and empowers the thing. Atma Swarup isko kehte hain. And your strength comes from here, your power comes from here. You are pure consciousness, existence, and bliss. Mind is the instrument in your hands. This much you should understand. And you can actually handle that mind if you can handle your thoughts. So that is why I told you, if you want your thoughts to work for you and make your life great, glorious, you must know how to think properly. You must bring your awareness to the forefront, your consciousness to the forefront, and the thought should shine there in your consciousness. Not that you are overpowered by thought, you are enlivening the thought from within. इतना awareness generate होना चाहिए system में, इसी के लिए योग है. Then you will think the thoughts which are really helpful to you. It is not automatically going on. Most people are not thinking. Thoughts are going on. They are not even conscious of what is going on. So ऐसी हालत नहीं होनी चाहिए. It will all come by practice. Next question.
There is one question: is detachment from work and its results opposite to passion for work?
See, detachment from work and its results, what does that mean? It does not mean you will run away from work. उसको detachment नहीं कहते हैं. All the work, but you are so focused on the work, you are actually not bothered about. इतना focus है, then definitely that work will work for you, क्योंकि आपका focus इतना generate हुआ है वहां पर. And you are not being derailed by what will I get out of it. इससे मुझे क्या मिलेगा, उसको क्या मिलेगा, all this. आपने पूरा focus generate किया है just to make the work completely successful. And so the result will automatically come. इसीलिए, the only thing that shakes your mind in the situation of work is the result for the fruit of the work. Please see this. Check it out and see. तो इसीलिए कर्मण्येवाधिकारस्ते मा फलेषु, भगवद गीता में जो कहते हैं, it is only for this to generate the steadiness of mind required to perfect the work at hand. To generate the steadiness of mind required to perfect the work at hand. If you can do this much, the fruit will automatically come. You don't bother what fruit will come. So जब भी youngsters come and say, मुझे इसमें सक्सेसफुल होना है, उसमें सक्सेसफुल होना है, I tell them only focus on your studies. एग्जाम के पश्चात क्या होगा, कहाँ सीट मिलेगी, कौन क्या कहेगा, कौन किस में जा, leave that aside. That is secondary. Just now, with full awareness, focus your mind on work, on your exams. You will be successful. Then आप choose करो ना क्या करना है इसके बाद. Yes, next question.
There is one question: how to balance the situation when one is always feeling like reading scripture but not what is prescribed in the syllabus?
So if you are feeling so spiritual that you always want to read the scriptures, but it is not in your syllabus and you are having to concentrate on your studies, देखो बच्चों, एक बात याद रखना, just now your dharma is the dharma of a student. Only by fulfilling this dharma you will go to the next higher dharma. इसलिए भाग जाने की कोशिश मत करना. Just because today you feel like studying Bhagavad Gita, some scripture, you feel like studying, so I will leave everything else and do this. I will run. I have seen such cases also. I will run away from IIT. ऐसा सब मत सोचना. If you do your present dharma perfectly, अगर अच्छे स्टूडेंट बन जाओ, टॉप लेवल स्टूडेंट बन जाओ, you know, tomorrow it will, your own life will give you space to pursue whatever you want. आज अगर यहाँ फेल हो जाओ, the door becomes closed to you. It will not open the way to your higher dharma. इसलिए अभी जिस पर आपको concentrate करना है उस पर concentrate करो. Make scriptural reading part of your everyday life. Every day 15 minutes you can do that. But don't think you will do that at the cost of your studies. So make this very clear to your mind, because the nature of the mind is always, you know, if this is the work at hand, it will be thinking of that. If that is the work at hand, it will be thinking of something else. This is the nature of the mind. इसीलिए application of mind is yoga. Even if you apply it on your studies, that will automatically become yoga if you don't hanker for a fruit. तो आप जो कर रहे हो वो भी योग है. आप समझो मत सिर्फ ऐसे बैठे रहना योग है. कल आप ऐसे पोजीशन में चले जाओगे जहां पर आपको और भी समय मिलेगा इन सब बातों पर कंसंट्रेट करने के लिए. आई एम वेरी टच्ड बाय योर लेवल ऑफ इंटरेस्ट and by the number of students who have attended this session. But don't ever try to run away from your duties, from your dharma, your mind, your will, your emotional level, your thought level. This is the time to build that. तो इस पर आप concentrate करो, automatically the higher life will open up to you. लेकिन भाग जाने से नहीं होता है. Yes. Next
there is
question.
one question, like how is faith related to mind management?
What?
How is faith related to mind management?
Yes, faith is deeply related to mind management. See, if you have faith, deep faith in anything noble, your mind will automatically come under control. You know, people who are deeply devoted to, say, a personal deity, to some high value in life, it may be something like patriotism, उनको देश के लिए कुछ करना है, automatically they will become idealistic. Automatically उनका मन उस तरफ नहीं जाएगा. So faith is deeply related to mind management. People who are absolutely faithless, they are not able to handle their minds. उनके thought current जाते हैं, उनको ही पता है वो. A lot of negativity will come in life if you don't have deep faith. Faith का मतलब क्या है? It is not blind faith. It is आस्तिक्य बुद्धि. ऐसी बुद्धि जो अच्छी चीजों की तरफ जाती है, अच्छे आइडियल्स की तरफ जाती है, हायर आइडियल्स की तरफ जाती है. So this faith you must have. If you are intelligent, you will have this faith. If you are silly and stupid, you will be completely faithless. Yes, next question.
There is one question. I am able to put much amount of hours in study, but not getting the quantity of focus and quality of study. How can it be improved?
So give you one video. You please watch the video Science of Focus. Science of Focus by Divyanandaprana. If you the focus, then how to build focus has been taught. What are the elements involved? It is also an IIT talk of that name also is there. IIT Delhi talk. So आप वो देख सकते हो. It is important to manage mind properly to build focus. If the, you know, if shaky, the foundation is shaky, you cannot build a superstructure there. So your mind must be very stable for you to build attention. इसके लिए the elements of the mind, your thought, your emotion, your will, all these should be stable, balanced, and very, very reliable. So that is why I told you first step to all this mind management is character building. What good does that do to you? It will keep your mind stable. चरित्र निर्माण जो है वो फाउंडेशन है. If that is there, your mind will remain stable. Then you can build concentration on that. If you are suffering all kinds of emotional jumbles and pulls and passions within you, how do you think your mind will be stable? So इसीलिए be careful about your exposures. All kinds of nonsense, you must not take it as that is life. That is just some cheap form of entertainment, which are very, if you are focused and concentrated, focus, generate that focus on higher things. Read Vivekananda every day, I'm telling you, and you will actually build focus automatically. क्योंकि उस लिटरेचर में वो पावर है. स्वामी जी का जो माइंड था, it was always in such an elevated state of this Brahman consciousness that he was always focused. His whole life was one long meditation. तो उनके बारे में आप पढ़ोगे तो आपका माइंड भी वो, it will touch that. So I'm telling you, the stable mind which comes from great character is required, is the starting point of building focus. ये आप समझ लो. Yes, next question.
So as the time is running out, we will be taking the last question. It is how to train our mind to see Brahman in the material world, and what are the symptoms that we are on the right track and we are practicing right spirituality.
So what are the signs to say we are on the right track? See, your inclination towards yoga, that itself shows you are on the right track. Your inclination to manage your mind. See, you only asked for this session. I was so happy with the topic. It shows you are deeply inclined towards understanding why my mind is behaving like this. How should I control it? This itself is a very good sign that you are moving forward in the path of yoga. And the fact that you have understood this much, that the goal of human life is to see Brahman, to see God everywhere. This is a huge step. तो देखिए ऐसे ऐसी जो सात्विक वृत्तियां हैं, सात्विक गोल ओरिएंटेशन है, दिस इज देयर इन योर लाइफ, इट इज अ वेरी गुड साइन दैट यू आर प्रोग्रेसिंग टुवर्ड्स द गोल. बट आई एम टेलिंग यू दैट प्रोग्रेस शुड बी थ्रू योर धर्मा, थ्रू योर पर्टिकुलर niche in life. Today you are a student, become the very best student. Today you require to focus on certain things, build up perfect focus. Tomorrow you will become great citizens of this great nation. And most of all, you will understand the sheer glory of our spiritual heritage, which will give you so much inner strength. And you will become a global citizen. Because one with a transformed consciousness naturally feels the oneness with everything. This is the culmination of, आप जो बोल रहे हो ना, how do I see God in material existence? This is the culmination of the spiritual insight, that God alone is manifesting in all human beings as consciousness. So इसका अनुभव भी हो जाएगा अगर if you stick to your स्वधर्मा. आज आप student हो, excel in that dharma. Tomorrow you will be a citizen of this country, excel in that. After that you will be a great parent. After that you will be a great contributor to this nation's economy. After that you will really be a global citizen. And you will be conscientious individuals with the greatness of character shining through your personality. अगर इतना मैन्युफैक्चर कर सको ना, धन्य हो जाएगा जीवन. मैं सचमुच कहती हूँ, this is what I pray for all of you, that really may your life illumine the lives of others. ऐसा कर देना अपना जीवन. So time is up. Shall we end the session here?
Yes, we sincerely thank you, Mataji. You took your time in spite of the extreme weather conditions. We sincerely thank you for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Namaste. Wishing
Namaste.
you all the best.